Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. We have another 3 minutes or so before we get started with today's journey. In this time, it's always a great idea to bring your own attention to your breathing. Just slow down your breathing. Inhale nice and slow into your belly. Exhale slowly. And in no time at all, you'll be ready to slip away with us on today's journey. Our teacher this week is Byron Katie. Byron Katie's work is awesome. If you ever want to know more about her, Google Byron Katie, The Work. She has a set of questions which are very basic. Byron Katie, The Work, and her set of questions helps us question our own thoughts. Helps us see, is what I'm thinking really true, or is there more to this? Am I telling myself a story? Her work is really cool. Try it out. Somebody, a very good morning to you. Anthony, good morning. It's awesome seeing you guys. Right, let's get into today's work. First quote by Byron Katie says, "It's not easy to find your own way when you believe that you need love, approval, appreciation, or anything from your family or others. It is particularly hard when you want them to see things your way." I'll do that first sentence again. It's not easy to find your own way when you believe that you need the love, approval, appreciation, or anything from your family and others. Maggie, a very good morning to you. It's good to see you. This is where we're diving in today. We're diving into this concept. Our needing, we're human, and most humans have this need. Our need to find love, approval, and appreciation from others. But more specifically, what are the tools that we have tried to use in the past in order to think or feel that we qualify for the love and approval of others? Melanie, a very good morning to you. And more specifically, what are the masks that in the past we've decided to wear? The mask that make me seem that make me seem like I am acceptable to the people around me. So that'll be our journey. That is what we're having a look at this morning, the masks that we have picked up and worn for years. When you say or do anything to please or to get or to keep or to influence or to control anyone or anything, when we do that, fear is the cause. Fear is the reason why we are trying to get, please, keep, influence, or control. And the result of this is always pain. Which is just another way of saying, let's look at the masks. What are the masks that we have decided to wear in order to make ourselves acceptable, or feel as though we make ourselves acceptable to the people around us, so we can get or keep or influence? 2 more quick thoughts before we get started. Beautiful words from Byron Katie. She says, "If I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. Amen." Good morning, Ange. It's awesome seeing you. I think this is so beautifully said. Byron Katie says, "If I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. Amen." Right, one last quick thought, and then we'll get started. She asks a question. She says, "Do you want to meet the love of your life?" Hey, Nella, good morning. Do you want to meet the love of your life? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. What we see when we look in the mirror can change over time. It is very often that when you try and do this as an exercise, something or someone suggests the exercise, look in the mirror to meet the love of your life, and you do that, but you really don't like what you see. That changes over time. You can get to a place working through all these masks, working through all of the fears of not being good enough. That's why we wear a mask, because we have a fear of not being good enough. And working your way through these, you can get to the place where this is real and this is true to you. Do you want to meet the love of your life? Look in the mirror. If you're not there yet, know that it comes. Trust that it's coming. Right, if you're ready, this is a beautiful journey. I really like this one. We've not done it for a while. Michelle, good morning. You are just in time. We're getting started right now. You can close your eyes and let's float away on today's journey together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Big breath in and out. One more deep breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. As you do, stretch out your spine and lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders and drop your head. As you continue your full body breathing, in this first phase, your only job is to soften more and more with every exhale. I like to use the word collapse, even if you might be sitting up. Can you allow your body to collapse as much as it can in your seated position? We often hold back on the collapse, yet it is something that should sometimes be allowed. And if you're lying down and meditating today, then it's even easier. With every exhale, soften into a complete collapse. While you continue to do that, I want to remind you of one of these beautiful quotes by Byron Katie. It's good to see how true this is and see how much more free we would be without this. She says, if I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. It's awesome to recognize that without the desire for approval, love, appreciation, we would be more free. But we are human. Our human brains and bodies have been programmed for hundreds of thousands of years to desperately seek this attachment, love, approval, appreciation. Because if our tribe did not want us, if we were kicked out of our tribe, we would not survive. The point I'm trying to make is that we need to be able to hold both. On the one hand, realize we would be more free when we could let go of this desire for love and approval and acceptance, while also having acceptance for being human and for having those parts of us that are desperate for love, approval, and acceptance. Please don't start fighting those parts. Hold them both in love. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles. Big half circles to the left and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward. Big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, focus on your spine. Can you curve your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone? One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch, move, adjust any part of your body that feels like it still needs a bit of help settling down. having stepped into presence as much as we can, let's turn inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of the journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long and slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Can you feel the muscles of your body all soften? Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, follow the downwards flow. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel yourself slipping deeper and deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and dive deep inside. Feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath only for as long as it feels easy. And as you exhale, make it a long, slow release every time. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, imagine being able to let go, opening your hands and clenching your fingers and just letting go, falling over backwards, knowing you're being caught by you. Take your next big breath. We're starting our journey of masks as far back as we can. See if anything comes to your mind. Are you able to perhaps recall an instant with your parents or your primary caregivers where you felt that you were not acceptable just as you are? Where something they said or something they did made you feel like you'll have to show up differently than what you really are in order to be acceptable? Could you perhaps remember how you felt you needed to be different? What kind of a mask you felt you needed to put on in order to be acceptable? Take your next big breath. It would be helpful if you're able to let go of any hard feelings that you have towards your parents or caregivers for how they made you feel. Could you recognize that? They didn't know any better. And for this moment, could you gently just take off that mask and put it down on the floor next to you? Our next step is having a look at either your siblings, or perhaps you had cousins that you spent a lot of time with when you were young. Those kids that formed a part of your formative years, your first few years. Can you remember any instance where one of these children made you feel like you were not acceptable just how you are? That you had to show up somehow different before you'd be acceptable? Take your next big breath. If you recognize yourself wearing a mask in this example, you can gently take it off and put it on the floor next to you. And are you able to let go of any ill feelings you might have towards these kids that made you feel not good enough? Another big influence in our early lives are the uncles and aunts and grandparents. Do you have any example there of one or some of them in what they were saying to you or doing, making you feel like you were not acceptable just as you are? Take your next big breath. If you can, are you able to let go of any ill feelings you might have towards these adults who made you feel not good enough? And gently take off that mask and just place it on the floor next to you. The next step is looking at teachers at school. Can you remember an example, an incident where a teacher, in the way they spoke to you or acted, made you feel like you were not acceptable just as you are? And that you'd somehow have to show up different before you were being accepted. Take your next big breath. Are you able to let go of any ill feelings towards these teachers or any of them that might have made you feel not acceptable? And if you recognize a mask you used to wear, you can just gently take it off and put it on the floor next to you. And then our peers at school, they had a huge influence on us too. Can you remember an instance, an example of one of your school friends making it clear in words or body language that how you are is not acceptable, and that you have to show up differently in order to be acceptable? Take your next big breath. able to let go of any hard feelings you might have against any of these friends for making you feel not good enough. Knowing that they did not know what they were doing. They did not know any better. You can gently take off that mask and put it on the floor next to you. We'll do one more stop. In your adult life, relationships, friends, colleagues, clients, managers, staff. Does an example come to mind of someone who made you feel you were not acceptable just the way you are? Someone who made it clear that you'd have to show up different in order to be acceptable. Take your next big breath. And here too, if you can, are you able to let go of any ill feelings you have towards this person or people, knowing that they don't know what they're doing, they don't know any better. You can just gently remove that mask and put it on the floor next to you. Take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness into every fiber of your being. One more big breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. Sit all the way back or lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Taking a look again at the humans in your life that may have made you feel like you were not acceptable. If you can, and this is a process that takes time, it's not something that has to be forced and happen right now, but if you can, is there forgiveness? Is there a letting go of their mistakes? And then more importantly, and this is true for most of us, if there are parts of you that desperately want, desperately seek the love, the acceptance, the validation from other people, do you have acceptance for the parts of you that are so desperate? Mooji said it really beautifully, that being who we are is the easy part. To stop being who we are not, that's what's hard. And this is a beautiful example, even though we can sit and practice to take off all of the masks. When we get up from this meditation and we walk out into the world out there, it's very natural to have an old program being desperate for putting on that mask because it makes us feel safer. To stop being who you are not, because that mask is not who you are. To stop being who we are not, that is the hard part. Can you find love? Can you find acceptance for the parts of you that might still need or feel that it needs a mask in order to feel safe? Ultimately, it's your acceptance. It is your love. It is your validation that these wounded parts of you need. And it's only when you have complete love and acceptance for every wounded part of you that those wounded parts would need a mask less. Your job is to be kind to yourself. And if you're able to walk out into the world without masks forevermore, that is awesome. And if you're not quite ready yet, it is your job to be kind to the parts of you that still want to hold on to the mask for a little while longer. Make those parts of you feel safe from you. And in time, they'll let go of the masks too. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to have a look at the masks that I might wear again. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for recognizing the wounded parts in me that might still feel the need to wear a mask. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning and understanding that it is my job to have love and acceptance for those wounded parts in me. Take a deep breath in. And thank you for seeing clearly that if I can really love, really accept those wounded parts just as they are, they might not need the mask anymore. I need to give the love. I need to give the acceptance. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. I want to read this one again because it speaks of freedom. This is not something you need to hold yourself to. This is not something you need to force and make happen, but it does speak of freedom. If I had a prayer, it would be this: God, spare me from the desire for love, approval, or appreciation. Being free of needing and desiring love, approval, or appreciation sets us free. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with receiving love, appreciation, and approval from people. Receiving that is awesome. Receiving that when I have no need of it is the best thing in the world. But being in desperate need of it, that wounds us even more. Take your time though. It's a slow journey. And maybe you're here already. Maybe this is still somewhere in your journey and future. Do you want to meet the love of your life? Look in the mirror. If you're not there yet, know that this will come. The day will come where you can look in the mirror and be in love with what you see. If you're not there yet, I know it's coming. Lots of love to you all. Thank you, Sunmary and Ange and Leshna. Good morning. And Anthony. Beautiful messages, Ange. And Anthony. Just lost power. Thanks, Anthony. Love you guys. Who else is there? Nella and Melanie. Those are the faces I see on the top of my screen. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day. See you back here again tomorrow if you have time for it. Ciao, ciao.